Life's a gamble, I roll dice. Bet against me, I roll twice. I done beat the odds my whole life. I said I'm ready for greatness.
Shit, Dave.
Welcome back to Autonomous Podcast. I am your host, Damian Jackson. One man, producer, editor, marketer, manager, all that rolled into one. So today's topic on today's episode, we're going to talk about last night's debate. Who won? Rather, who lost the debate? Who lost the debate? Trump or Harris? My answer is America. America, we fucking lost last night because whether you're for Trump, whether you're for Harris, you have to be honest with yourself. No matter which side you take, you don't feel that great about it, right? There's no way you feel great about it. There's no way. If you're with Harris, how can you feel good about everything as she's talking about her plan and what she wants to do and what she's going to do if she's president? Motherfucker, you're vice president now, bro. You're vice president now. You're vice president now. You're part of the administration in which we're suffering in this shit ass economy, in which people are being thrown across the border, and we'll touch that later. But she's part of this economy, of this administration. She's part of all this right now. And she's like, when I'm president, you already know what you're going to get with Kamala Harris as president. The same thing you got as Biden. The same thing you got with Obama. It's the same thing over and over and over. And if you're okay with that, hey, you're okay. You're okay with that. I don't know how you're okay with that, but if you're okay with that, go ahead. And if you're going for Trump, you can see the team up that ABC did, but that was always going to be a thing. He's on ABC. We know which side ABC leans towards. Disney. We know which side that they lean towards. Democratic, liberal. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit biased towards Trump, or against him, rather. It is what it is. But if you're a Trump supporter, you still have that. You still have to ask questions like, all he had to do was stick to the facts of the situation. The economy sucks. What's going on sucks. But his temperament at times, he doesn't necessarily care about, or he's not necessarily concerned about his public appearance at times as he rants or as he starts name calling or starts throwing little shots and stuff like that. And it's part of his personality. But he's what? Pushing 80, ain't he? You don't really want to see that. And then he's also getting older. You have to question, is he out of touch with reality? Because he's listening to people, but that's all he's doing is listening to people. He's far removed from those personal experiences, and you can even argue that he never really had those personal experiences that most Americans will have, but now it has Kamala Harris. So from Trump's perspective, if you're a Trump supporter, you're watching that debate, and this, as I watched probably like the first 30 minutes of it, and I started playing video games because I was like, I'll listen to a little bit while I'm playing video games, keep me focused. Stuff. It was hard. It was hard because I'm listening to Trump, and I'm like, bro, just answer the question and stick it to her. Like, we know the shit is trash right now. And that debate didn't swing nobody one way or the other. And if you're in the middle, I highly doubt most of y'all in the middle anyways. Because to be honest with you, I feel like if you're in the middle, you don't want to vote at all. If you're in the middle right now, you don't want to vote at all. That's why America lost last night in that debate, because these two people are supposed to be the leaders of the so-called free world, and leader is a stretch. I don't even think we should really use that word when we're talking in terms of president of the United States, but they're supposed to be a leader of the free world. You already had Trump before, so you can kind of handle that again. But you can't look at Kamala Harris and listen to her talk and really think that it's her. I give it to her. She was well coached. You could tell things were rehearsed. But right off the bat, the first question, she ain't fucking answered. She didn't even answer. I can't remember. I made some notes, but I forget what the first question was. Oh, it was just talking about the economy or how things have been the past 4 years. I feel like, no, I know if she would have just came out and been honest and been like, we say the numbers are a certain way and stuff, but I'm hearing that Americans feel distressed at the grocery store, things like that. Because she'll admit in like some of her campaign, her campaign rallies and stuff. Oh, we're gonna lower the prices of groceries, but you're already in the current administration that increased the price of groceries. So if she came out and was honest, like, currently being in this administration, we did some good things and we could do a lot better, right? Oh, we could do a lot better with the economy. Yeah, prices have went down a little bit, but we could do a lot better and we're going to do this. And she might have said it at some other point and stuff throughout that debate last night, but right off the bat, she didn't. And that would have been the moment to establish the tone for the rest of the debate. But I don't expect her to say that or Trump to say it or any of these politicians, because no matter what, they're politicians. I don't care what they say. They're politicians. I don't expect none of them to say it because they're all liars. Plain and simple. Why would these people tell the truth? And that's why America lost last night, because you're still not getting no real transparency. You're still not getting no real honesty. You're still dealing with people that are I don't even know. At times it can be logical and calculated, but clearly emotional. Trump can be logical at certain points, but he's still emotional. He's still going to have his rant. He's still going to have somewhat of a temperament. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to launch a nuclear weapon or something like that. But he will say shit here and there. That's part of his personality. Take it or leave it. And he's okay with that. But he's also old. He's, like I said, pushing 80. So is he really going to change his personality at this point in time? More than likely not. And then people are swayed by their emotions. So as Kamala Harris was answering the question, she's always interjecting, my mom and my family and my sisters and you notice she kept talking about the women and stuff, trying to appeal. So they're, her in particular, catering to your emotions. Oh, so you can feel good. Like, oh, she has a great story. I don't want to fucking vote for you because your story is great. Now is not the time to be concerned about their stories, their backgrounds, none of that stuff. What the fuck are we going to do about the economy, about the resources, about, survival, about these marches towards World War III? What we're going to do about those things? And I know they ask those questions later on and stuff, but let's be honest. At its foundation, the same issues are going to keep coming up when you're dealing with the government. At what point do we all stop and say, you know what? This might not be working anymore. Nobody wants to really admit that. I won't say nobody, but a lot of people don't want to admit that. We still want to vote. We still think voting is going to change. Let's put it out there. Say your votes count. And your voting power is important. What change have you actually seen in these decades throughout your life? What changes have you actually seen? It's the fundamental foundation of this government that is flawed, will always be flawed, will always be open for corruption. Too many people in DC operate and have control and have so-called position of power and make choices that affect millions of people. You have to think a system like that is not sustainable. So why do we want to continue to have this system every presidential cycle? Bring up the same thing. Oh, the economy. Oh, immigration. Now, of course, they threw out abortion. Abortion. Donald Trump should not be concerned about what a woman does with her body. We're always worried about abortion. It's funny because abortion is after the fact. Cause and effect. You had sex, and then we didn't go into what happened to the woman that gets raped? We always throw out these like extreme hypotheticals. There's so many other things that goes on before that too. But you're like, oh, abortion, a woman has a right of her body, blah, blah, and all this other stuff. I get it. But on the grand scale of things, when we're talking about a country, is that really important? Is that really important? Or is it just a talking point to get your emotions up so you can vote a certain way? Everything about what you saw last night was a manipulation tactic, a psychological operation, and we call it a debate, but they're not really debating anything. They're saying their little point of view. They're getting mad and spitting back at the other person wherever they said, little tit for tat things here and there. Civilized society, right? Civilized society. Doesn't look like it. This shit is hilarious, man. This shit is hilarious that we sit here and think that we're so high and mighty and stuff, and that this is just all such a great idea. Yet, we're still in the same situation. As we move forward, there will be some attack. There will be something to happen within these next few months going to 2025. And that's if you only know about 2025, that's a whole nother conversation. And I'm not even talking about a stupid project 2025 to keep trying to associate with Trump. That's another thing too. He kept denouncing it over and over and over and over and over and over, and they still try to attack you with it and say, oh, well, you do this, you do that. How can you trust a person or even want to listen or definitely believe a person that's going to say things that they know is not factual? Like, Kamala Harris knows that's not factual, but she'll keep saying it. Why? They have no problem lying. Both parties, everyone up there in DC has no problem lying. In fact, lying is a part of government. They call it need to know basis. That's another conversation. They brought up immigration. People get caught in their emotions when talking about immigration. If you want a country, guess what you have to do? You have to create your imaginary borders, usually based on natural land masses, based on the natural environment. So you create your borders, and then after that, you say, hey, who's coming in and who's coming out? We got to make choices. No one wants to make hard choices when it comes to immigration. Oh, anybody should be able to come to America and have a better life. And the reality is, everyone that comes to America ain't your best people. And if you want to invite people in, what are you going to do? You're going to make them go through a process because you do want the best, or you do want someone that's trying to change their life for the better. People don't even recognize that if you want to take down a country, you take it down from within. And what do? You flood the borders with people that don't care about the country, people that are just there. So you can say some of the criminals are coming in. Criminals from other countries. You can say that. The reality is, it's always been like that. It's always been like that. You can call it slavery. Yes. But they also were prisoners of war. They also were prisoners. They also were people that committed crimes. That's the facts of the situation. You're not always going to get what you think you're going to get. Now, you can still argue about, oh, well, we need to be open-minded and stuff and things like that. Go ahead. All this lovey-dovey shit that people like to spew, when it comes to running a country, making these decisions that affect millions of people, you think you're always going to make your decisions with your emotions? The hard choices will be made through logic. Be honest with you. I don't want to say we should do more logic. I'm not going to say that, because next thing you know, we might as well be governed by AI. Getting closer towards that. But the way it's looking, it makes you wonder. Just right off the bat, watching that last night, all I could think of was how America is losing, how this country is going down, and everything happens in a cycle. If you have a rise, you're going to have a fall. We're watching the fall of the so-called American empire in real time. You're living through historic moments. They will change history and how it's written. Fitting that I'm doing this on 9/11, which we know didn't happen the way that they tell us it happens. So they're going to rewrite history to fit the narrative in which they want moving forward. We're watching America fall in real time as Trump and Harris talks about the economy. Nobody wants to state the obvious that the money is fake, that we need to get rid of the Federal Reserve, that we need to go back to having our money backed by natural resources, precious metals, gold, silver, copper, oil, natural gas, shit like that. Things the BRICS nations are doing. As we're like, oh, America gotta be a superpower all over. Nah. The days of America being a superpower and on top, they're gone. They're gone. It is what it is. Sometimes you're on a winning team. Sometimes you're on a losing team. Sometimes you say, you know what? Time to go to a different team. Hey, moving forward, a lot of Americans going to have to make some choices because you lost. I lost. Every American citizen lost that debate last night because if these are our choices, we're fucked. You know it. You know it, man. That's the wild part. You know it. You don't want to admit it, but you know it. They gave you choice A and choice B, and they said, make a choice. Y'all don't think that's a little odd? Y'all don't think that this shouldn't be just these two? And it's not like they beat out other people. Hell, Kamala Harris didn't even, nobody even voted for her. They just appointed her. So your whole democracy is gone. That's the wild part about this. Your whole democracy is gone. They were always going to put her there anyways, but still. Nobody really voted for her even be in that position. Now you're supposed to vote for her? Why? Why? Because she's a so-called black woman? Y'all stupid, man. A lot of y'all stupid, man. Y'all know it, right? You know you're stupid. You know you're stupid because you don't care about logic. You don't care about using your brain. You just want to feel good. That's okay, right? We all been stupid in our lives. I've been stupid, right? When I lead with my emotions, we all been stupid. There's nothing wrong with that, The problem is, if you do it over and over and over, it's stupid insanity, you start to question your reality. You either have a breakthrough or you continue doing the same stupid shit, then you're dead. Then you're dead. Or you're in this situation that we're in now. A horrible economy. Millions of people flooding the borders, coming in. And we're talking about, the jobs and the market and black jobs and all this other stuff. The job market is always evolving. The problem is the financial system. Why are we still dealing with paper money? All right, if you like paper money, that's fine. But it's physical, but it's not really backed by anything. So then you have digital money, which is essentially the same thing as physical money, except you don't have it physically in your hand. But yet we're still not backed by anything. Trillions of dollars in debt. 35? Hell, I stopped looking at it. Once we hit 33 trillion, I stopped paying attention to it. So the debt just keeps rising and rising and rising. And yeah, you can cut some programs, you can do some things that'll cut the deficit and stuff like that, but you're never going to get out of debt because it's a perpetual debt cycle. The monetary system in which the United States bases itself on is literally based on debt. Trump's not talking about that. He's not talking about getting rid of the financial system. And I don't care whatever secret plan, so-called secret plan he has behind the scenes, none of that shit. Tired of that shit. Be open and honest. When is someone going to come out and want to lead the country? Actually, nobody should lead the country. Country shouldn't even exist. Autonomy. Autonomous podcast. Autonomy. Because as long as someone's trying to say what they think is best for everybody, you're always going to have a fucked up society. At some point in time. You have your periods of greatness, and then you have your periods of when everything is completely horrible. And we're falling towards that completely horrible side. And then you can say, oh, well, yeah, but the racism and sexism and stuff and the equal rights and all this other stuff, that's another conversation too. But I always find that stuff kind of funny because you want equal rights and equal opportunities, but for what? Because the money is still fake. They're still gonna launch weapons and drop bombs on other countries that you have no issue with. And they're saying they're protecting America's interests. They're telling you you're America, but you're not America. If you were paying attention, especially when they brought up the whole January 6th bullshit, when it was like, oh, they're coming at the Capitol, and Washington, D.C. is not America. Not the America we live in, literally. District of Columbia. 50 states of the United States of America and Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. That's their sanctuary. That's their headquarters. That's where they want to live and operate for the most part. So when they're talking about, oh, they're attacking the Capitol, we got to protect our country, that's on them. They got the weapons. They got the missiles. They got the bombs. They got the gas weapons. All types of other weapons that we don't even know about. Yet they need protection. You notice they always bring up certain instances. And, oh, well, he did this and he did that. Or she did this. And you have to start to wonder. It's a Spider-Man meme, right? Everybody's pointing at each other, but they look exactly the same. The Trump looks like the Harris, looks like the Biden, looks like the Bush, looks like the Obama, looks like the Clinton, looks like the Bush Senior. Like, do y'all not see the pattern? I know a lot of y'all slow, and that's okay. The issue is, at what point do we say, hey, I don't think none of this is actually working? What happens if nobody votes? You ever think about that? What happens if majority of people don't even vote? We had the highest voting turnout, which the record number, they're going to be record numbers in the next couple of months of voter turnout, because the immigration, those people they brought into the country, all of a sudden they're all going to be able to magically vote. The fucked up thing is that we all know this stuff happens. And yet we're okay with it. Yet you're still okay with voting. Even though you know the system is flawed. Even though you know the system is corrupt. Then you'll be like, well, this is the best system we got. But it's not the best option. People are afraid of change, and they know you're afraid of change. That's why they use psychological operations, fear tactics to scare you into things. 2020, COVID. They know how you operate. They know that you don't actually want to make choices for your life. They know you don't want to be held accountable for your life or the lives of anyone else. Hell, barely the lives of your family members. They know you're not responsible. They know that you rather not think about majority of the so-called hard decisions. They know that. But as long as you don't want to make those decisions, as long as you want to be ignorant to those things, you have no power. And then when I say stuff like this, oh, you're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, what are we supposed to do? People are horrible. Are people actually horrible? Majority of the people that you'll meet in your day-to-day life either don't care about you, completely ignore you, don't know you, or they're nice to you. Majority of people that you interact with, somebody could be at home saying, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, but they go out in public and they go on about their business. I don't care if you're racist. I don't care if you're sexist. I don't care if you hate my so-called religion, my spirituality. I don't care about none of that stuff. Because when we out in public, you mind your fucking business, I mind my fucking business. We all good. I don't care. You can go home, have your Klan hood on and everything. Go your rallies, all that stuff. I don't care. long as you don't bring that shit outside in public. Why would I impede on your personal beliefs? As long as your personal beliefs doesn't impede on my personal safety. What you feel and what you think, you can keep to yourself because that's actually privacy. But we don't want to have these conversations. We don't want to deal with these things. That's why people give up their decision making, their power and stuff. Oh, well, we got to have this. We got to have equal rights. We got to have opportunities, abortion, all this other stuff. Because it makes people feel good that, oh, well, I voted for this person. I'm part of this team. All these false senses of emotions that's not true. It's not authentic. We live in an inauthentic society. Most of y'all are inauthentic. That's why you like the lies. Correction, you fucking love the lies. That's why you love the fucking lies. Because you're inauthentic yourself. Because if you were really living in your true authenticity, this shit will aggravate the hell out of you. And you'll just be done with it, man. You'll be done with it. It's wild that we are here. We're here. 2024. Whatever year actually is, doesn't even matter. But we're here in this moment, outdated system. Outdated financial system, outdated economy, outdated governance system, government system, whatever you want to say. All this outdated. No real evolution, no real change. People don't want it, but they want to change. We don't want change, but we want change. Harris is telling you, oh, things are going to be better. You're going to make a change. But you're in office now to make a change. Trump is not even telling you he's going to make a change. He's telling you he's going to make a change back to how shit was when he was president. Which we still could argue wasn't the greatest, period. Because a lot of y'all have recency bias. You don't remember shit past 2 years. We're 4 years removed from 2020, the initial start of 2020 with COVID and stuff like that. And a lot of y'all act like that shit didn't even happen. Don't remember 4 years ago, this time, motherfuckers, y'all was still wearing masks. Y'all afraid to go outside and shit. Don't forget. Don't forget. I'm not going to forget. I know majority of y'all did not want to go outside. That you wanted to wear a mask every fucking where you went. That you were afraid that breathing the air was going to make you fucking sick. I did not fucking forget 4 years ago. Hell, I still got the podcast up on my YouTube. Actually, no. It's everywhere. Yeah, the podcast episode is still there. The ones that they didn't take down when I was talking about COVID. So I didn't forget that shit. Most of y'all forgot that shit. That we were in a country where you couldn't speak out about the so-called mainstream viewpoints. You couldn't question the science. You couldn't make your own. It's funny because they bring up abortion, but when you bring up making your own choices for your own medical history, for your own medical experiences, for your own body medically, taking a vaccine, all of a sudden, no, it's not your choice anymore. The hypocrisy and the idiocracy that goes on. This is why I know votes don't count, because they know that I know y'all stupid. Right? They know that. They know that. You know it. You know it. So that's why, as I was watching the debate last night, I was like, we're fucked. America lost. I already got backup. I got a list of backup countries in my mind. I'm gonna keep my citizenship here because, well, got my retirement income. Goddamn right. You goddamn right. I'm gonna keep my motherfucking money. You goddamn right. So I got my retirement income, and then I'm gonna keep my citizenship here, and I'm gonna get another citizenship somewhere else. And I'm looking into places where I have property rights. And for the most part, if nothing changes too much in Florida, I'm gonna stay here, because this is where my property is at. Ownership, assets, investing, those type of things, because The reality is the laws and the system in which we think are that is in front of us, that the matrix that is placed over us, it only applies to, you can say, the majority of us. But once you start owning assets, once you start having an X amount of money, not necessarily income, once you start having an X amount of money, when you start collecting resources, all of a sudden, the rules don't apply to you no more. Because my mindset still is for a fundamental shift in the consciousness of the species, especially in the terms of governance, autonomy, a self-governing society. And as I try to move towards that and manifest that and materialize that into this physical reality, I'm going to set myself up to where I don't have to operate with the same rules and laws as the rest of y'all. And the best way you can do that is knowing the rules and laws and regulations, all the other stuff and policies, and how to navigate and avoid those things. Because watching that debate, America lost, and it's like, most of y'all don't care. I'm not even going to call it stupidity. I'm not going to call it a lack of intelligence or lower consciousness or unaware. It's just a choice. It's a choice. The majority of y'all don't care. And it's not distractions. It's not your sports and social media, the internet. It's not, TV and none of that stuff. It's not your friends and family members. Y'all just don't care. Because people have always told me that, oh, you don't care. You don't care. I don't care about some things, but I care about when someone tries to tell me, hey, you need to pay these taxes. Hey, you need to obey this law. Hey, you need to vote for this person. Wait a minute. Now you're trying to force me into things that I don't want to do. A change should take place. It will take place. Which side of that change you'll be on, that's your choice to make. A lot of y'all will continue to go along with this government, continue to be a part of this Harris, Trump debate. A lot of y'all will take y'all ass into those voting booths. Y'all mail in your vote, whatever you're going to do, and you're going to feel good about it. And then, I don't even know, the day after the election, the week after the election, whenever they decide to finally count the full votes, you'll get your answer, and then we'll spend the next 4 years looking at this shit. But my plan is to set myself up so I ain't got to deal with none of this shit. And be prepared. Be prepared for anything and everything moving forward. I don't know if they're going to have another debate or not. I'll watch it. I'll probably report on it. I'll laugh at it. 30 minutes is about all I can withstand because shit got on my fucking nerves. The lies, the pandering, the not answering the fucking questions. Oh my God. Before I get off, I got to stress over that so much. Just answer the question. Just answer the question. Just answer the question. Oh, I want to rebuttal. I want to say something with what you just said. Just answer the question. Just answer the question. All Trump had to do was just answer the question, because all he had to do was point out the fact that what the shit is going on now. That's it. But he goes off into his tangents and other things. All Kamala Harris had to do would be honest, but we could be doing a lot better. And moving forward, my new administration, I will make some changes in which that will affect the American population and get us back to a place in which we can be proud of. Look how easy that is, right? Look how easy that is. I'm not being coached. Just use my fucking brain. Look how easy that is. They were in a studio with no audience. Y'all don't find that confusing or strange or weird or anything? That they were in a studio with no audience, So now you're telling me we're having a live debate, but for the country, for people to determine whether or not they're going to vote for this person or that person, yet no one can view it in person? That there alone, I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on the whole process. And both candidates are wrong for even accepting that debate on those terms with no actual public people or no people in public sitting there viewing it. They're trying to show you that they can lead a nation, that they can lead millions of people, yet they can't even converse respectfully, civilized in front of you physically. Yeah, I'm done with y'all. I'm out.
Life's a gamble, I roll dice. Bet against me, I roll twice. I done beat the odds my whole life. I said I'm ready for
Talking
greatness.
shit, Dave.